Ashe, Ashe, and grand rising once again to you all, my very beautiful people. My highly enriched melanin people, you the Earth's original and organic humans, aka my fellow Africans. It is I, the Mystic Philosopher. And yes, it is evident that I'm still here with you on this side of reality. Welcome back to the Mystic P. is talking again on the 15 minutes with I, the Mystic Philosopher. And this is episode 56. Please forgive me if I go over by a minute this time. I'm trying to keep it within range. I didn't get a chance to edit my notes. Anyhow, the main topic of these series of talks is stress on the mind, or more correctly, the impact that this thing called stress has on the thing that we humans call mind. And that from the Mystic Philosopher's perspective, the solution to this problem or to this disease called stress can, or it may be found in and by understanding, understanding, and overstanding the want equation, which states want is equal to money, which is equal to stress, which is equal to unhappiness. And also by putting into practice the knowledge that can be gained from this profound equation. And the quote that I've been using and are using to make and illustrate my points is from the Adamic Race History book in accordance to the 23rd Psalm, which states, and I quote, "The Lord is my shepherd and I shall not want." In my last two episodes, episodes 54 and 55, I asked that you please meditate on the want equation. Want is equal to money, which is equal to stress, which is equal to unhappiness. And see what you can or what you may learn and derive from it for yourself. In other words, I ask that you evaluate it for yourself and see if it makes sense to you personally. And thanks for the feed forward. Some say feedback, or the feed forward that I have received from the few people that have told me, a few listeners that have told me that they have discovered, told me that they have discovered a lot about themselves and they have learned a lot for themselves. They've discovered a lot, yes, for themselves, and they shared some of it with me. And as the saying goes, some of which I didn't find out yet, to be honest. And as the saying goes, iron sharpeneth iron, or one hand wash the other. So I thank you guys for sharing with I, the Mystic Philosopher, what you have found and your points. In fact, one sister have already come up with the answer where I want to give you. Where I intend not want, oh hey, they tell you how the language trick the mind. Intend to give you, I will give you, or share with you later on, or very soon. I also promise that I will continue to evaluate and share with you some more of my perspectives and insight on this thing called want and the want equation, and by addressing and answering the question which I dealt partially with yesterday: how do we get rid of want, and isn't that impossible? And in doing so, in today's episode, I will be adding one more question to the mix, and it is as follows: why did the psalmist said, and I quote, the Lord, why did the psalmist said, or David said, that the Lord is his shepherd, he shall not want? That's the question I'm going to look at now. Now, in my response to this question, now please let me again remind you, my people, that this command, aka this order, or this instruction, and this commandment, so command and commandment, this commandment, aka the order of the mind. I explained to you that commandment means order of mind, or the instruction, or this order of the mind. Namely, I shall not want. That's an instruction, that's an order, that's a command. You shall not want, we shall not want, and nor shall we, or should we, be found wanting. That the psalmist is reaffirming here is not something new. I told that it's not something new that came about after the genetic engineering, or the genetic creation of his Adamic race and races of humankind, or with him, the shepherd boy that allegedly later became king of Israel some 3,500 years or so ago. Not at all. It's not new. Now please let me again remind you that the evidence coupled with our activated common sense show that we, the Earth's original and organic humans and highly enriched melanin and carbon-skinned humans, aka Africans, have been here and We have been here on this planet and with this our planet and Mother Earth for hundreds of thousands of years, if not for millions of years prior to the creation of these what we call Johnny come lately invasive species and destructive creatures called the Adamic race and races. Now let me also remind you that since their creation and arrival among us, which admittedly and according to their own records and history and holy book, is only between 5,000 to a maximum of 6,000 years ago, that they both learn from us. They both learned from us, and that they stole our stuff. I told you all of that already. They stole our stuff. They stole our stuff from us, and that even to this day, they are falsely claiming that all these common sense commands and commandments and practical knowledge, etc., belong to them. They claim everything. They claim it, especially my teeth. And let me again remind you that by now you should know, understand, and overstand from our own life experiences with them around, them meaning the Adamic race and races, that they are thieves. And that the characteristics of a thief or thieves are that they are liars, killers, murderers, and destroyers. This is one of the facts, or this is one of the facts about them or about themselves that they openly admitted to in their holy book. They can't help themselves. The thief comes only to steal and kill, and destroy. It is written in their holy book. So please don't think for a moment that they can help themselves being who and what they are and what they were created by their God to be. And please let me also remind you that if you know a person or anyone from among us melanin African people that has become like them, that is modeling them, anyone you know that is modeling them, that is mixing with them, that has become possessed by them, you name it. Anyone from among us that is a liar, if you know anyone among us that is a liar, and especially one that is a chronic, mendacious liar, he or she could be even your own mother. It could be your own father, your own brother, your own sister, your own husband, your own wife, your own child, your own man, your own woman, you name them. Then you must know and know for a fact that you also know a potential thief, or a potential liar, a potential killer, a potential murderer, a potential destroyer, and that he or she is not if he or she is not already a known thief, a known killer, a known murderer, and if not already a known destroyer. And you must know and know of a fact that he or she, given the right opportunity and with the right set of circumstances, he or she will lie on you or tell lie on you. He or she will steal from you. He or she will kill or murder you, and he or she will destroy you and your property as well. In other words, playing with a liar is just like playing with fire. It is just only a matter of time before you will get burned. Or it is like playing or ramping with a venomous snake. It is just a matter of time before you will be stung or get bitten. For that is what they are and what they have become. But much more on that at another time. So now, please let me get back to answering the question. Why did the psalmist call David said the Lord, or even more correct, Yahweh is his shepherd, he shall not want? Well, from the Mystic Philosopher's perspective, and for this to make rational and logical sense, it is because he knew and understood of the fact that it is, and that it was the unconditional responsibility and obligation of the shepherd, and in this case his God Yahweh, to take care of his sheep in any and every way possible, and not the other way around. In fact, and quite unlike what those from among us that have become sheep, especially those that have voluntarily, some deceptively and forcefully become the sheep of the pastors of our enemies, and those among us that are acting like sheep, calling themselves sheep, and are living like sheep, he must have known, and as basic logic coupled with activated common sense will affirm, that the poor, let alone docile sheep has no responsibility or obligation to the shepherd. other than to be what it is, a docile sheep. He knew and knew of a fact that it is, or that it was the shepherd's unconditional responsibility and obligation to provide for the sheep or for his sheep in every way possible. For example, it is his, meaning the shepherd's unconditional responsibility and obligation to provide the sheep with protection at the highest level of security. This is responsibility to provide the sheep its daily bread, as it is written in the sheep's holy book. Give us this our daily bread. It is the shepherd's unconditional responsibility and obligation to ensure that his sheep gets water and all needed nutrients. It is the shepherd's unconditional responsibility and obligation to provide the sheep all that it needed to have and to maintain good health and good hygiene. You name it or you name them, and activated common sense will affirm that it is the shepherd's unconditional responsibility and obligation to provide it or to provide them for the sheep's well-being, for the sheep's happiness, and for the sheep's prosperity, and for which the sheep doesn't have to fast, deprive itself of food, and pray to the shepherd. The sheep doesn't have to beseech or beg the shepherd for anything. It doesn't have to sing to the shepherd. Doesn't have to worship the shepherd. Doesn't have to tell the shepherd. It doesn't have to sing and tell the shepherd how great thou art and how great it is. That the shepherd is worthy and worthy of his praise. Can you imagine a sheep telling the shepherd that, oh shepherd, you're worthy? How the sheep know that and it's an idiot and it's a fool? And how much the sheep loves the shepherd? Sheep telling the shepherd that. No, it's the other way around the thing set. You name it and you name them. And why is the shepherd doing all of this? Some thinking human among us may ask. As I have mentioned and explained in an earlier episode, that the sheep is the shepherd's vested interest and not the other way around. I dealt with that already, you know what I'm talking about. So it is, or it was, with this knowledge and that knowledge, that knowledge, understanding, and overstanding of who and what his shepherd, David's shepherd, the psalmist's shepherd was, that he went on to write the rest of the psalm or the rest of the song. And he said, and quote again, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Why I shall not want? Because he maketh me to lie down in green pastures. That's security, that's safety. I don't have time for delving all of this on all the time. He leadeth me beside still waters. You don't have to worry. You don't have to worry about all of that. He restored my soul. He leadeth me to paths of righteousness for his name's sake. This is because, you understand what I'm saying? It's part of right for his name's sake. Yet I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. I fear no evil. For his shepherd is within me. You know his shepherd's rod and staff comfort him. You don't have to worry about the sheep. Not have to worry. Like the other way around. Oh Lord, protect me. Oh, please, and the enemies. No. Sheep does live. No, thou prepares a table before me in the presence of my enemies. Honor this my head with all my cup ready to. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. And I will dwell in the house of the Lord, or as a flock of the sheep of the Lord. Forever. The sheep don't have to worry. Not like I see people rolling, praying, begging, crying, tearing, and all of that. And also the thing set. David know that. Right? Sheep don't have to worry. Sheep just live. Because, so, with this knowledge, understanding, sheep just live. Because the shepherd have his own agenda. Sheep don't even worry about that. In the meantime, while it live, it full joy life. So, with that knowledge, understanding and overstanding, he know that he shall not want, and that should ever he found himself wanting, then he would be in serious trouble with the shepherd, because he would be saying to his shepherd, you are incapable of providing for me. You're incapable of caring for me. You're incapable of taking care, yes. And then the shepherd will have no alternative but to hand it over to its adversary, so that the sheep will learn and experience what wanting and to be found wanting produce. Oh, shucks time. Again, thus far today, in today's episode, I can't get into everything. This far in today's episode, I honestly think that I have given you, or at the very least, I honestly think that I may have given some of you, if not all of you, some more to think about, and possibly a lot more to look forward to in the next episode, especially as it relates again to stress, the seed called want and the want equation, etc., etc. And so, in the interest of time, I think I should just pause. I must stop here for today and ask that you please join me in my next episode. Next one, I'm talking again, possibly in episode 57, where and when I will be talking and share with you more of my perspectives and insight. This time, still on the magical, mystical, metaphysical aspect of the word want. The command and commandment, you shall not want, and hopefully continue addressing and answering questions and giving you more examples of how to get rid of want and by extension stress. For I shall not want, you shall not want, we shall not want, and nor should we be found wanting. In the meantime and between time, my beloved people, let me again remind you, my people, that yesterday's history, it too is dead and gone, no more to come back. Tomorrow is a mystery, it too may never come, but today is a gift, which is why it is called the present day. And so I'm hereby imploring you to live for today, and by live I mean claim your natural birthright, and just in case you do not know or you may have forgotten what it is your happiness. So again, I encourage you to full joy today, and let's hope for tomorrow. For tomorrow may never come. Don't worry about criticism or people may say about you. Don't just live a damn life. Make the best of it. Take care of you. Right? But we'll get into that another time. Again, I thank you, my brethren, my beloved people. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your time. I am the Mystic Philosopher. Ashe, 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 Ayase. I know I went over, but I asked your permission.